Oh, I have to start with because I love when I was looking through your profile. Here I am only thinking, okay, this queen is an actress. She's awesome as Detective McCarthy on this Deadly Destination wedding. And then I look, you're also a coach. And I'm like, well, hot dang, this queen does both sides, but I want to dive
Thank
into.
you.
You're welcome. I want to dive into Deadly Destination Wedding because I mean I've talked to Anna. Pretty much I've known Anna Marie for a couple of years now, and speaking with the other cast, this movie was so brilliantly done.
Yeah, definitely.
And I want to first get started because this is our first time chatting. How, and then we'll dive into the coaching end of it. But how did you get started? Did you always wanted to do acting?
So actually, I really fell in love with acting in college. My first time around. I say first time around because I'm going to be finishing up with a PhD this time next year. So I'm still in school. I went back, but my first time, I minored in musical theater, and I fell in love with the theater arts. I really fell in love with film and television, the more concentrated, very representational type of acting. Probably, I would say about 4 years after that. So in 2009 is really when I fell in love with screen acting, and from there, yeah, just definitely I stayed focused on that. I've done theater in between, but my full passion is definitely film and television. So.
Girl, and a PhD on top of it?
Yeah,
Good.
I love education. Any kind of way to continue learning. I'm a lifelong learner. I don't see that stopping at any point.
Wow. Well, how did you, I mean, there's different parts in this movie. Of course, you get the leading lady. There's, the vicious guy in this one, the psycho part.
Yeah,
You end up with a detective role.
yeah.
I want to know because I loved her. I mean, she was in the movie, she was, I'll say a Spitfire. She just comes in and boom,
Yeah.
she's the one that's in charge. But how did you get connected with this script and what were your first thoughts on her?
I literally my favorite role is and character is detective. And I say role because I'm an actual detective in real life for film. So I'm a dramaturg as well.
Mhm.
And so I love research. I am fascinated by constant resources and just digging through and learning like who inspired the one who's inspiring and then who inspired them. And I will go on this entire loop of just gaining all of this wonderful knowledge and good cool stuff that's out there. So when I get a detective audition, I'm all in. I love the character of the detective. Um, so honestly, I plugged a lot of my own just natural love of trying to find figure out the game of Clue, like who did what, and I could care less about all the sidebar stuff. I just need facts, and I want to piece together the facts. And so yeah, so I really dove into her with just my love of getting down to the rock bottom and the root of everything.
To jump into a role like that, now it makes sense. Now replaying, watching the movie, now it makes sense watching you in this role. I mean, you killed it, but did you have any knowledge of any of the other cast? I mean, you get put into this role, and then, God, so many amazing people within this
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah. So I didn't, yeah, I didn't meet anyone personally until the day that I showed up on set for my call time. But I did have the entire script sent to me, and I always delve into the script at least three, but more than that sometimes if I have more time. Like I'm currently working towards another project that I'll be filming in August, and I'm literally reading through the script. I was doing it this morning at 8 a.m. LA time. So I constantly read through and get to know the characters on the page. So when I show up, like it doesn't really matter, what you look like. I know you as the character and as the individual because I've done the work on you and my relationship to you and how you help me obtain what it is I'm trying to achieve. So I've already established all of those things before I even step on set. So
And it's funny you tapped into segued into my next question. You learn the words on the paper. You learn who Detective McCarthy is, and
yeah,
then you step into. And I told Anna Maria this, and I told Austin and the rest of the crew. You step into where you're going to be filming, and it talk about peaceful. Exactly where you're
yeah,
at right now. Talk about
yeah.
such a peaceful and such a, oh my God, aesthetically such a gorgeous place.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And the beautiful thing too, working on the set is that all the cast and the crew, everyone was at ease. I think everyone just worked so beautifully together as a team. And it was peaceful on set. It was a lot of fun. And I didn't vibe or peep out the time that I was there. Any negative tension or frustrations or any of that. So when you just have a really good professional team of the production and overall it makes for filmmaking like so much more awesome for those reasons. Everyone was prepared, so that was really awesome to experience.
Yeah, you guys had one. I mean, I love Peter. Peter, you guys have
Yeah,
so many good people, and the story. I can see what you're saying. The story was so, after watching it, executed so well on paper, and you guys just executed it so well, bringing it,
yeah.
the story to life.
Definitely. Definitely. 100%. Everyone was respectful of each other. And just, again, it flowed so nicely. Everyone, when it was time to shoot, everyone knew their lines as far as the actors go. We had the chemistry because we were all professional and all of the crew was on standby in their positions. And we just we got the job done and enjoyed the scenery and the process. So,
And I love too, because I love moments like this when I talk to people like yourself who are not only the student, but you are the teacher also. So it's like
yeah.
two worlds collide. Did you find at times where you were being the teacher along with being the student?
Well, not for that set. Not one bit. I was able to completely engulf myself in my role and just play my position as the actress. Now, some sets I've worked on in the past, I've been asked to step up and maybe help coach a little bit, or I'm also an intimacy coordinator, and so they may ask me for suggestions there. But the reality is that they're all different hats, and I come with a separate set of skills depending on what hat I'm wearing. So I do really try my best to like stay in my lane and wear the hat that
Yeah,
I've signed up to wear.
it
So,
makes sense.
yeah,
It makes
yeah.
sense. It makes sense. I want to know because I pretty much asked everybody across the board on this, but I want to know what your favorite moments were, playing her in this movie, Detective McCarthy.
Yeah, it had to have been when I was there with Nigel, and then also the security as well, head of security. And we had this moment where I had to put Nigel in his place because he was
Yes.
like, he shut the security down from speaking. And I'm like, no, I'm going to shut you down, sir. Because at the end of the day, there's some problems here and you're not helping. So so that was a rhetorical question. I loved playing that particular role. And then too, from my positioning, even in the break times in between, I was literally looking at the ocean the entire time and I was seeing like dolphins like dive out of the ocean. So my positioning from where I was for that however long, it took to get the good shot. And there was so many different pieces to put it all together. I had the perfect view. So I was just in heaven. And I was absolutely in heaven.
Well, I love dolphins. Oh my goodness.
Oh
I,
yeah, they're so beautiful.
and that, believe it or not, that was my favorite. She just came in and be like, quiet. I want to take it and flip, like like I mentioned in the beginning, you're not only an actress, but you're also a teacher and a coach. I guess this answers my own question, but you love to learn and love to dive into the knowledge. Why do both? You know, what
Yeah.
what kind of made you want to split it between doing the acting side but also the teacher side?
So, I mean, I love all things art. So I do way more than also coaching too. So I'm a brain health professional. I'm also a certified sex therapist practitioner, and so I help people with trauma and triggers and things like that as well too, whether they're
Hmm.
on set or also just counseling non-actors as well. Um, I just love to learn and to experience life. So doing both or doing all the other, wearing all the other hats that I wear as well too. I just it through all of this process of doing all that the different things that I do, I connect with so many different people that are in the industry, outside of the industry, and I have friendships and colleagues that are in the industry, outside of the industry. And for me, it's just a life well lived. I'm never bored. I have 4 children. So
Oh,
I'm constantly teaching my 4 kids who are very different in their own right. All 4 of my children are very different. Not one is alike. And just to be able to have great conversation and have some knowledge and or resources to tap into and explore, it's just the discovery of life. And for me, that's an art form in and of itself. I think just being a human being is it's so complex, and just I'm fascinated by all of it. So I wear the different hats because one, being a coach, I being an actress and training actually here in LA, and I'm coaching a boot camp with Ivanovic, who is a creator and author of Los Angeles Times Seller of How to Be Actor, a very famous creator of technique. I'm actually trained with him as an actress, also hosting the boot camp with her. So it's just beautiful to be able to do both and change hats and all at the same time. It keeps me fascinated.
it makes sense. It makes sense. It's got to be so fulfilling to be that intimacy coordinator because I feel like just with those two words alone, it's got to be so fulfilling that when you do have, say, people that you're helping, and for them to ultimately get to that final goal to feel better about themselves, if it makes sense, it's got to be so self gratifying.
For sure. For sure. It's really my love and passion to help others heal. Through healing, I healing myself, obviously, which is why I choose the perfects that I choose. But there's so many performers that step on where it's live stage or on camera and so obligated to have to give consent because they think it's like, well, if I don't give consent, then I'm being difficult. And I let liaison for production, the crew to the cast, being that liaison to communicate that consent that we expect is now bridge alternatives. And we're going to have modification to where everyone can leave this set not triggered, traumatized, and so can swallow it, not knowing that they pressures one and they definitely wanted to. Adding something to everyone, the cast and crew in that. And so my position is very gratifying when I know that I'm still helping the production feel right at the end of it all. And knowing that people are going to go home feeling safe, feeling like boundaries are not crossed. They don't feel, you know, so yeah, it's really gratifying.
It has to be. It has to be. And it's so, to me, it's so gratifying. You're getting both so much positivity with doing the acting side and doing the coaching and being the intimacy coordinator and doing all of these things. I can see just by just a little bit that we've talked, I can see how much joy that it brings to you.
Definitely. Definitely. Yeah, 100%. And I'm able to connect with everyone that and in all these different positions on just a different level. And it's so exciting no matter what it is. Even after this podcast, I've got students in Hollywood Fame Boulevard waiting on me. So I'll meet up with them. We're going to go have some street corn and we're going to go some gelato later. But being my students to explore Hollywood is like a big deal that I have two of them who have never been to Hollywood before. So I get to experience that with them and just watch them enjoy, being in Hollywood from the east side of America. So yeah, a lot of fun.
And then to top it all off, you're a mama on top of it.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm on top of that. Yeah.
You're a
Yeah.
mama, which I think is a thankless job. It's a
Definitely.
it's a work of art in itself.
Definitely. Definitely. I have oldest and looking for getting back so I can help get moved in college. So he'll be going off his choice. He got accepted to his top three. So got to make a decision to move him on and we can't do my other little ones. So yeah, it's all fun. A big mom, yeah.
Wow. Wow. Um, I wanted to touch base also. So you were saying about how you have something else that you're working on that is, will we be seeing it sometime before the end of this year, or we don't know yet?
Yeah, I'm sure you know how it goes. Got film coming up in August, so I'm not certain how they to do post-production. About 148-page script, so there's a lot of characters. It's a pretty big film. So yeah, I think it's gonna take a little all those pieces together, distribution, all that kind of stuff. But I'm really excited about delving into the character starting for say early. I mean, 2 months. 2 months is not super early, but this character is one actually on my shelf list, so a bucket list type of character, and I'll be playing an innate. She's very she's a star that represents her struggle, and so she's also aware of the prison. So she's on that kind of like scar face that everyone comes to, like the Godfather, and
Mhm.
and they seek wisdom from her. And so I really am going into this character with all of my because I told Patton on my episode of appealing goals to provide dick, and I look forward to seeing that in August.
Mm.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see that one. Just by just what you just mentioned.
yeah,
Um, I feel like I can see where your two worlds collide, and it's you do so much work on yourself that I think it brings so much of the craft more out of you, and it it definitely for sure is. I'm a strong believer in when you work on yourself, you do see, you the more you work, the more you see the good, the better, stronger side of yourself. And I can't wait to see this new movie, and um, I can't wait to see what comes next for you because I feel like just by talking to you, I feel like I can see you in like a Tyler Perry or one of the another like Lifetime being another. I'm putting it out right now. There's not gonna not be another one that I'm gonna see you playing a detective because you do a good.
nice. Thank you. I see it. Thank you.
Oh, honey, it's I was saying to Anna Marie, and I was saying to Austin and to all the other crew, I said this movie, The Deadly Destination Wedding. I mean, major kudos to all of you guys. It was just so well put together, and I was following along with some of the stuff that you do, the coaching wise, and you're just such a ray of positive life and light. And I really do. I have to thank you because going through daily,
Yeah.
mental health struggles. It does help to see a shining light like you. So I have to share that with you.
Thank
Continue
you.
doing what you're doing because you are making a
Thank
difference.
you. Yeah, that means everything to reach that. It's awesome. Thank you.
Oh, honey, congrats on this movie. Congrats on doing the intimacy coordinator and just showing people that there is positive. There is a positive energy in this world that does support. And I can only imagine you do the rock star thing of doing movies, you do the rock star thing of coaching. And I can only imagine you're probably an equally rock star of a mama.
Thank you.
You're welcome, honey.
I tried my best.
Thank you so much for taking some of your time out, even in the middle of doing all that you're doing right now. I really do appreciate it.
Of course. Thanks so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Oh, honey, no, you got it. And this is not our last time. We will circle back when this next project comes out.
Sounds good. I'll be ready.
Take care, honey. Bye.
You do. Bye.